Hello, my name is Emily Phillips, and I'm a multidisciplinary studies major with concentrations in interdisciplinary studies, bicultural bilingual studies, and communication. I hope to join a master's program in communication disorders and audiology, and my ultimate goal is to become a speech pathologist. The part of my life that I am most passionate about is definitely my family. Growing up, my dad was in the Army, so we moved around a lot. I was born in San Antonio, but then lived in many places, including Korea, Hawaii, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. We lived in Pennsylvania for 4 years, the longest I have ever lived anywhere. I graduated high school there, and it was the place where I felt most like home, and the place where I allowed myself to put down roots. My parents wanted to retire in San Antonio, where all the rest of our family was. So almost immediately after I graduated high school, my family and I moved to Texas. This was comforting to be around family, but the move was extremely difficult for me because I missed all of my friends and the life I had once known. I missed the changing seasons and the place where I grew up. When I began college in the fall of 2013 at San Antonio College, I was originally planning on becoming an art teacher. My major was art, and I really enjoyed my classes and all the new things I was learning. It was during this time that I met the man who would soon become my husband. When I met him, I had no idea how drastically he would change my life. He proposed very quickly, and knowing in my heart that this was the man I wanted for life, I very uncharacteristically said yes. He joined the Army shortly after our engagement and left for basic training. As our relationship became more serious, I started to think about how accessible it would be an art teacher who had to move so frequently, and I changed my major to interdisciplinary studies as a 4th through 8th grade generalist. I figured this would be a better career path for me as I would be certified to work in more elementary and middle schools and would be able to teach any subject. I loved my education classes and found that as the oldest child of 4, teaching came very naturally to me. My husband and I got married the summer after he returned from basic training. We spent a year in San Antonio while he was in training and then moved to Fort Hood and Killeen, where he had his first duty station. This was an exciting time for us to get to move away and start our life together, but we both also missed our family. Since Killeen was only a 2-hour drive from San Antonio, we spent many weekends coming back and forth from Killeen to San Antonio. It wasn't long after being in Killeen that my husband got word that he would be deploying within the upcoming year. This was very disappointing news, but we both knew that it was a possibility when he joined. While we were living in Killeen, I got pregnant and gave birth to our first child. My husband ended up having to leave for his deployment only 4 weeks after our son was born. During my entire pregnancy, I had to juggle emotions of excitement and worry, and wanting my pregnancy to race by so I could meet my son, but also wanting time to stop so that my husband wouldn't have to leave. We walked through this tumultuous and exciting time together. We packed our house during my pregnancy so that I would be able to go stay with family while my husband was deployed. I had to reconcile how packing made logical sense with my instinctual desire to nest and prepare our home for our new baby. When Caden, our son, finally arrived, we had a huge jumble of emotions. We were overjoyed by the arrival of our new baby boy, but heartbroken because we both knew that deployment and separation was looming in our future. During this time, I had to decide how I was going to handle this upcoming year, and I really had to grow to trust that it would all be okay and that I would be able to handle all of my new responsibilities. I had to figure out how I was going to stay strong for our new son and how we were going to operate in our new normal. After our son was born, I did not want to commit to all the additional hours it would take to become a school teacher. I knew I wanted to work with children, and I knew I enjoyed working one-on-one. I remembered a friend of mine from high school's mom was a speech pathologist. I contacted her and talked to her about the different aspects of her job. I really found it all very interesting, and after researching it, I decided I would work towards a master's degree in communication disorders. I know I will have prerequisites to complete before entering the program, but I'm excited about my decision and have peace knowing this is something I can do while remaining present in my son's life. These 4 years have grown me beyond what I ever imagined as a starry-eyed high school graduate. I have learned what it means to love another person in a way that doesn't make logical sense, and how to care for and nurture a baby alone, while still furthering my education and keeping up with all of my other responsibilities. My top 3 goals for this class are to learn more effective communication skills that can be applied during a speech while becoming a speech pathologist, become more comfortable speaking in front of groups of people because making speeches has not always come easy to me, and to further understand the influence of communication on every aspect of daily life.